a thank you letter. This comes under the Boys and Girls Committee, and it's called Safe Kids. Dear Longview Pioneer Lions, thank you for your generous donation of $500 to Safe Kids Lower Columbia. As you know, we are a nonprofit organization which makes your contribution tax deductible, which of course is wonderful for us. Our volunteer group is made up of community organizations, businesses, and individuals with the common goal of working together to keep kids safe. Your donation helps make it possible for us to hold activities to achieve this goal. And I'll just briefly mention this part. Last year, thanks to our donors, our coalition was able to do the following for our community: car seat clinics, health fairs, safety fairs, 2 Safe Kids Days. And the letter continues on. Bottom line, thank you so much for your help. Sincerely, Deanne Sharp, Coordinator. So now if I could ask Tom Fulton to come forward, please. With his sponsor, Harold Malone.
Harold.
And past President Cindy Sessions. 2 weeks ago, I believe we had awards and we should have had an induction, so we're making up for lost time today.
Okay, we're good. Tom, it's indeed a pleasure to welcome you here today. We want to express our pleasure. You're joining today one of the largest service organizations in the world. We are a membership of 1.3 million men and women in 46,000 clubs in 208 countries around the globe. This all began in 1917. Now, hence, you know why we're doing the centennial year, this being 2017, by a Chicago businessman by the name of Melvin Jones. He decided that he should get together with his fellow business people and that they should work on doing those kinds of projects that give back to the community. So hence was born Lions Clubs International. At their convention in 1925, they invited Helen Keller as their guest. And at that time, she challenged the Lions to become Knights for the Blind. And that's where we get this background that we now pretty much are a sight and hearing and diabetes foundation, membership. We have lit a candle on your behalf over here, and that candle is to signify your dedication to the things that we do as a Lions Club. Your sponsor is a little questionable, but the board decided to overlook that. And oh, okay. Behind you, Tom, if you'll turn around, you'll see the logo here and the large letter L, and that circled by a gold ring. And that represents unity and strength. On each side of that ring, there's a lion head facing one direction, lion head facing the other. One is looking at past accomplishments, the other looks ahead to the future. There's not enough darkness to put out the light of one small candle. This lighting that we have done for you today is symbolic. It is the dedication that we seek.
Since you expressed a desire to be a member of the Pioneer Lions, I will now ask you to respond to my words with a simple I do. Do you accept membership in the Pioneer Lions knowing that you are encouraged to participate in all functions of the club? To the best of your ability, will you abide by the Lions Code of Ethics, attend meetings, and contribute to the programs of your club, district, and Lions Club International? By the power vested in me by Lions Club International, I now declare you officially a member of the Pioneer Lions. Your sponsor will now present you the Lions lapel pin, which signifies membership. I will now ask your sponsor to respond to my words with a simple "I will." So this is hopefully double duty. Will you fulfill the following obligations? Be a mentor for your new lion.
Yes.
Make your new member feel welcome.
I will.
Introduce them to other club members.
I will.
Assist them in becoming an outstanding lion.
I will.
I would like to personally congratulate you for accepting this service challenge for our community. You'll receive a temporary red badge until you complete 4 tasks. Then you'll receive your permanent blue badge. Do you know what the 4 tasks are?
Visitation, attending board meeting, orientation, and a work plan.
Very good. Tell us about yourself, family members, jobs, whatever you'd like.
I'm retired, and my wife is sitting over there, Pat, and I don't.
Retired from where?
Chimera. It was a chemical plant over on 3rd Avenue by J.H. Kelly. It's now closed, so I retired at the right time.
Yeah.
So other than that, I'm just excited to be a member and get involved.
Don't go away. Now, here's this red badge we promised you. And you'll look on the back, you'll see a number. And that number corresponds with a slot back there in the back. And after each meeting, you could put that red badge in that slot. Also, here is your membership card. And if you'll be sure to sign that. Occasionally, the tail twisters will ask the members to produce their cards, and it better be signed, otherwise it's a fine. But Pioneer Lions, I'd like to all take this time to welcome our newest member, Tom Fulton.
So we're running a little bit late. We want to be sure we get a program here. I'm going to turn this over to Zone Chair Doug.
Thank you, Madam President. Fellow Lions and guests, we have a great guest speaker today. He is a fellow Lion from the Wakayakum Club. As a matter of fact, the president of the Wakayakum Club has come over here to make sure he does the White Lions thing. Is that correct, Carol?
Well, it was also to get points.
Oh, visitation. Oh.
Two reasons.
Anyway, Mike is a second-generation fisherman extraordinaire, commercial, and he has some ideas of how we might be able to spread the wealth of that fabulous Northwest salmon. So without further ado, I'd like to turn this meeting over to Mike Bachman from the Wakayakum Lions. Mike?
All right, so Doug put a few of these on your table. All right. So what I came today to talk about is work, when we work with you here, is we want to do a split. Right now, this here is for selling just portions, but we want to also sell the whole fish in fillets and, the different varieties. And so what would have to happen is, if you guys decided to work with us, is we'd have to have a committee, so that way, because it's a fluid market thing that's going to happen. They have different price of fish. It's not always the same price. You have to follow, and we take this number and turn it into percentage. So that way you would still get the same percentage if you sold it by the pound or if you sold it by the piece. So you would be getting the same. But it would make more flexibility. Like, I'll give you an example. Right now we're fishing smelt. And as you know, right now you can't get smelt. You can't go dip them, even though they're smelt in a lot of places, but you can't legally dip them. If you wanted to sell smelt, we would give you an opportunity to sell smelt, and then you would take your percentage for selling the smelt. We'll have that. We'll have other items as we go along. We're working with Wakayakum, different farms and other fish. there's more fishermen, and there'll be some farms coming online. We'll be able to do some beef or other items if this works out, as it grows. This is our first club that we're working with. Again, it's going to be about being flexible and trying to figure out. We're not trying to take advantage of anybody. We're trying to work best to let people be able to help people and have good food. And our goal is to follow the berry path. I guess you guys don't sell the berries, but it's to follow that path of reaching out to these different clubs and getting hold of those email lists and then doing things. And we could cook some meals, do a fundraiser that way where we could partner up, supply the fish and actually cook it. And again, when you get to that time and closer, we can work out the numbers so where it works out. We want to be able to do it more of instead of trying to hit the magic numbers, get together and figure out where the number needs to be able to work with you. Instead of saying, here's that number, and try to make it happen that way. We're trying to be more flexible so that way it's a moving target. So it's a win-win. We never want to do it anything that's where anybody feels bad about it afterwards. I don't want to hurt myself. I don't want to hurt you guys. I care about lions a lot. And I want people to eat good fish, and I want to educate people about how to eat good fish so they know what it is. It's got a couple different prongs going on there. A lot of people don't understand. If you didn't grow up eating a lot of fish, you know how to eat what you grew up eating. And that's custom and ordinary. So if you didn't eat a lot of fish growing up, you don't know the proper way to cook it. It's very easy to cook fish. You use the thermometer, and you get good fish consistently. We thought out, we can do a presentation, we can do, when the time comes, if we want to sell fish, we can do like a little presentation to go with it. But it really takes that out of it. I did bring some fish today. I brought about 60 pounds of fillets. You guys are more than welcome to take that home. Whoever wants some fish, stay here. Once this thing is over, I'll bring the fish in. We'll open the boxes up. You guys, they're frozen, vacuum packed fish, so you can see what we're talking about. You take it home, try the fish. We'll explain to you about the thermometer. If you don't have one, I suggest you get one because it's the safest, easiest way to eat the fish and to have the good consistency. Nothing worse than, is it flaky yet? That's been the worst thing that ever happened to us. Is somebody told people that watch for the flaky. Is it done? This flaky, anyway, it's just bad. The thermometer makes it so easy that anybody can do it, and you can have consistently good fish. So if you have any questions, I'm glad to try to answer them.
Let me get a mic.
Do you have a season that you do this for the promotion?
Well, we fish mostly in September, in August, September is when we'll have the fresh fish. But we're looking at working with fishermen so that we'll be able to do tuna. And we're in the process of getting started on we've been doing our own fish for a long time, and we've been doing a wholesale for a long time, but we're now going into retail. And so this business used to close every October. Just like clockwork, fishing's done, put it away. But now we're going all year, and we're going to be working with people, and like, for example, we could have sold crab. We could have done a crab feed. What's fresh, what's available. Now, the salmon I'm bringing today is sockeye that I got out of Seattle. It's a wild fish, but it's a Bristol Bay sockeye, or should be Bristol Bay. I didn't catch this fish. This fish was bought in Seattle. But it is wild, and it's Alaskan, but I don't know per se if it's exactly. The other fish, the goal of it is to be able to source it right to the ground or the water. That's with the farm stuff we're going to sell, or with the fish stuff we're going to sell, the seafood. All of it, as time goes, in September, October, each time when we have fresh fish, or a smelt that you could sell now if you wanted to. If somebody decided that's what they wanted to do, you guys could do that. It's source. We can take it right to the source. And we'll have a calendar as it gets close.
I have a question for you.
Yeah.
I have made the mistake once of buying farm-raised trout, and it was the most delicious fish I've ever eaten in my life. Is salmon the same way, or is it going to be firmer, but it's like they're going to catch it wild?
Well, what we're selling is all wild. We're not selling any farm fish.
I thought you mentioned farm. I was
No, a farm is, that we're talking about is, I am working with local farmers in Wahkiakum County, and we're putting together a deal to sell grass-fed beef and other items, USDA cut, so that we'll be able to sell that kind of stuff. And right now, my business does fish, but I'm working with people in Wahkiakum to be able to sell other products as it comes online, as we'll have USDA and good products.
So,
We will have access to it. But what we'll do is we'll come up with a price sheet and say this is the things that we'll have. But our business in general will do locally done fish. But we'll have access to halibut. You're not the first person to ask me about halibut. So we will definitely be able to have halibut, but it'll be frozen, it'll be bought from Seattle, and it'll be at a reasonable price. So yeah, you guys can get into.
Do you have a place of business that you operate out of, as far as the one over to Atlanta where your shop is?
We have a facility, but we're in process. Right now, what mostly we have is we're doing from the boat. It would happen is we come from the boat, we're using cold storage. So I can show you the vessel that we're using to catch some of the fish, or I can show you, we're going to be using the nacelle cold storage. They have a locker down in nacelle. That's where the fish will be held. A lot of the work will be done at independent packers in Seattle or South Bend Products.
So the thing is to give you a call if you're looking for some fish that you want to pick up from.
Right. Well, what we're hoping is to do like what they do with the berries, and we would look up a price and say, for example, just say you're selling a fish for $8 a pound fillets, like this fish you're going to get today. If you were going to sell that for $8, now that's what I saw it for at the grocery outlet, which is the cheapest, right? I'm not trying to price it with Safeways. I'm going with so people can afford to eat the fish. So if you marked it with the same as you got from at grocery outlet, it'd be $8. We would then sell that to you. You guys would then put a thing out and say in 2 weeks who wants fish, and then you would send your emails or however you spread the word amongst yourselves. You would take a collective order, then I would bring the fish, and we'd meet in the parking lot right here, and I'd go, here's X amount. If it's however much you wanted, that's how, that's what we'd have. Maybe we'd have a little bit extra in case somebody showed up that that wanted some, that didn't hear about it. But mostly we're not going to be sitting on fish, especially fresh fish, that isn't sold. If you have orders, we can fill orders. But yeah, that's what we're hoping. We're hoping that you'll be able to put it out and do a controlled bid, like, here's this what we have, this is what we're going to have. And then each time it will be a little different because sometimes fish price does this. And we're all working on percentages of what that fish price was. So we can't always say it's going to be this exact price. Now with my own fish and the fillet and the pieces, well, that we can do because that's a higher margin than I would have got going the other way, and it's my fish, and I'm wanting to make this happen. But if you're going to sell by the pound or you're going to sell whole fish or whatever, we want to make sure that it's worth your while to do it. And again, you're not handling the fish, you're just handling the people. You're getting the people together, and if it's fresh fish, my guys will be out here with the totes in the truck and handing it, and bagging it, and handing it to the people. It won't be, I don't expect you guys to run around with fish in the back of your car trying to deliver.
no.
Are you doing crab?
We didn't this year, but by next year we will be. Right now, we're just opening the retail part of this, and we looked at it, and we'll be able to get crab, and again, we'll be from the boat, so that we can follow this thing right back to each boat. So you can say, this came off fishing vessel, whichever, and there'll be a friend and a story behind it.
Are you looking for a fundraiser maybe once a year or a couple times throughout the year?
Depending on how it grows for the club. If it works for the club, if you wanted to have one fundraiser where we cooked a big salmon dinner, or you wanted to do a crab feed, well, that'd be one fundraiser. And if it's another part of the group, because you're a large group, decided they wanted to try to sell some fish or a seafood package, where they said, okay, we want extra, and here's what you can have, and we can have a whole gamut of different types of fish that are frozen and packaged, and then they could do that. I'm open to see what they want. I'm not trying to push them to do any more than what they want, because it's your club. And what I think is very interesting about this thing is it has two folds. One thing is that there's a percentage, you'll see two different numbers. There's 75 cents per piece that went to you guys, and 25 cents went to the Wahkiakum Lions Club. And what I'm trying to do is I'm trying to help our Lions Club make money outside of our community. Because, as you know, each community only has a certain amount of money to be donating to your club. So instead of saying, please give to something, if they go to a dinner, they get something. We make a little bit of money, and then they make a little bit of money. And each time, you know, because you can only dig to the well so hard. You know, we have people who need glasses, people who need all these different stuff, all these different services. There's always more coming on, and limited funds. So this is a way for us to get outside of our community to put funds back into our club.
Are there any more questions? Pat?
Instead of taste of Italy, we'll call it taste of cat lemon.
That's right.
There you go.
Steve?
One comment, I was lucky enough to win a fillet down at Cat Lamit's, zone meeting on the last day a year ago. It is awesome, it is great.
It's good to know. I know you kind of talked about different prices. If we were to host a dinner, do you have a recommendation on what we would sell tickets for to come to that? Because you're talking about different prices, so I don't know what that would be. We'd have to include,
Well, like in fall time.
say, salmon dinner.
Yeah, salmon dinner, like in the fall, like $15. Same as you're doing your rest of your, I wouldn't want to gouge. I want people to eat the fish, and we will do our best to give you fish that's reasonable. You know, and maybe you'll get jacks instead of full-size kings, because jacks are worth less, but yet they cut the same meat color. It's about having good quality protein. It's a good fish, treated like a good fish, and not just the most expensive piece of fish. And we'll work with you to get that number down to where it's a reasonable rate so you can afford to have a profit margin. We'll look at what you have to make on your regular dinner and get that meat within range.
Okay, I have another question regarding that. The rest of the food that would be supplied, would you come and cook the fish and say, we did baked potatoes and salad or whatever?
Exactly.
Okay.
And
So
I
that
cook
would have to
it.
come under that budget.
I cook a lot of different fish for a lot of different events. We cooked a little bit of, I cooked steaks once, but I've done fish 4 or 5 times a year. I do fundraisers for the 4-H. I do fundraisers for the fair. Let's see, we're doing one this next weekend for the Republicans. So we help out, it's cross-border. Whoever, in our local community, you just kind of help where it needs to be, and if they want to have a salmon barbecue, then we cook the salmon.
So Mike, 2 things. I'd like to thank you for coming and sharing this with us. And the other thing is we do have a new project committee. So I think what we'll do is turn that over to the committee and give them your contact information, and they can get together and bring it to the board, and we can discuss that.
Okay.
See if that's something that would work for our club.
All right, well, thank you for your time. And again, if you want some fish wrap, I'll bring it in.
So Mike, I know that you are a member of Wapayacum Club, so this application could go to some potential new member in Wapayacum. And the mug is for coming here, so thank you. That's our Pioneer Lions mug
Well, thank
for
you.
your keepsake, okay?
Well,
Thank you very much. So, senility, Secretary Steve.
President Maryland. Ron Stoppler, how come you're signing Gibbstonier's space?
Yeah. One line. They're gonna find me for one line.
Actually, I'm all for forgiving you, since you have to deal with the hockey puck for the next.
Okay, just quickly on announcements. Taste of Italy, Carrie Ann mentioned that you're having a quick meeting after today. And then the next official meeting was February 20,
Oh,
the next, right, you're having a committee meeting.
Thursday, 16th, the 16th.
Oh, this Thursday, okay. This Thursday at
6 PM at Life Mortgage.
Life Mortgage. Oh, what? I got that down.
And tickets.
Yes. And also the mention that bring wine, Eric and Greg will collect that. And what we didn't get out was that Marnie Botero she has tickets, and they're going to be available for you to pick up. If you want to sell some tickets, that would be great, if you want tickets for yourself. But she's got the list and the tickets available for that. Zone Chair Doug Harvey mentioned legacy meeting. That is tomorrow night at 5 o'clock. And on Thursday, a little visitation to Vancouver Club, or you can actually go with Doug for a visitation to Castle Rock if you'd like to as well. Greg Firth mentioned also another meeting tomorrow night, Sight and Hearing, if you'd like to come and see what they do. Is there anything else I missed? Just a reminder, Kathy Crawford's in the back selling crab feed tickets for the Vader Club. One more announcement.
At our meeting on the 28th of February, our esteemed district governor will be in attendance and will give a talk at that time. So plan on seeing the district governor here on the 28th at 12 noon. And the vice district governor may come with him as well. Thank you.
Okay. I think I have a blue ticket here. 5356256. Doug Irvine.
Okay, here's a winner. He never loses.
Okay, we have a red ticket. 8212443. Seriously? Diabetes, Steve Patterson. Okay, Relay for Life. No win. Wow, somebody new.
Second goes to
George.
George.
Okay. Well, happy Valentine's Day, you winners. Okay, and just a reminder, Mike Bachman is going to be having fish in here if you'd like to purchase fish today. No? It's a gift. First come, first serve. Yes, Floria Lee. Senior dance Thursday? Tomorrow night. Senior Center. Okay, meeting is adjourned.